should I use when I download the ad report search terms or keyword reports from the Auto PPC? I would use Numbers or Excel. I do not believe in outsourcing PPC. I think it's crazy. I do believe in getting a consultant to help you with PPC. That's not crazy. But using a software can't do it, because PPC is not just strategic. It's not just analytical. It's strategical, and software can't be strategical. Software just looks at the data and makes decisions based on the data. You can't do that, though. You also have to be strategic. There is a human element of strategy that software cannot do. So 100%, I read them myself and learn them well, and I want to know them well. I don't want someone else doing that for me. Now, is there a time and place to get help with it? Absolutely, but you still need to learn how to do it yourself. You'll end up making far more money and making better decisions for your business. I'm going to take a few minutes, you guys, and walk you through how PPC ads work in a strategical way. So many people keep asking me about this. So first of all, when you're running a PPC ad, look at it like a funnel. When you begin, and there's multiple strategies for doing this, but this strategy is the most universal strategy that is effective. The first thing you're going to do is you want to make sure that your average cost of sale, your ACoS, is within your advertising margin. And as a general rule of thumb, that's 30% or lower. So when you look at how much your product is selling for and how much it costs you to produce it, now you know your margin, and you don't want to go higher than that. Now at the beginning, for the first couple weeks, even a month, it's going to go higher than that, and it should, and that's fine, because you're collecting data. And once you optimize it, you're not going to be spending a ton of money, you'll be making a lot of money. So that's your first thing. Second, when you run the ad, for the first couple weeks, you're just collecting data. And I'm going to show you guys, walk you guys through what that looks like. First, begin with your 5 to 7 power keywords. By power keywords, I mean when you went into Maze Out and you researched the product and you found multiple niches or multiple keywords pointing to your product, and they were high volume, low competition keywords, those are your power keywords that you're going to begin with. You should have up to around 100 total keywords regardless, because of all the research that you've done. So you're going to start with around 100 keywords. A lot of those are going to come from the titles of your top competitors, as well as the bullet points from your top competitors. And you're going to drop those into a manual campaign that is broad. By broad, I mean you could drive, let's just say it's metal green chair, because I'm sitting in one right now, is the keyword. That's your main keyword. When you drop in metal green chair, it's gonna search metal green, metal green chair, metal green, metal green chair that's pink, pink and green. It's gonna do all these different variations. And the reason for that is during the next 10 days, it's gonna find you keywords that you can potentially rank for. So you're going to drop them into a manual broad match campaign. That means Amazon will do a whole bunch of different versions of that broad match, and sometimes they'll put words in between your words. So if you had metal green chair, it might be metal tall green chair, okay? And you're just getting broad data, and it's going to cost money before it makes you money. You're also going to run at the same time an automatic campaign, which will find you other keywords that maybe you didn't think about. Make sure, if you are leveraging the skeleton hack or the boost hack from our course, that your title is optimized. You don't want your title to be simplified. The bullet points, everything else, that's fine. But because when you launch your product, Amazon's gonna index you based on the title from the beginning, and if you go back later and change it, it's really difficult to do that. So your title needs to start as you want it. And the first 2 to 3 words in that title need to be from your 5 to 7 top keywords, your power keywords. The reason for that is what is in your title, those keywords, have the most impact on your ads. Your automatic ad campaign is gonna run based on the keywords in your title, your bullet points, and so forth. So when you start running it, you must have the keywords coming, that title must be optimized as much as you possibly can, okay? So you have your automatic and your manual broad campaign, you run those at the beginning. You're gonna wait 10 days. Even though you can download the ad report usually after 7 days and get some data, 10 days is ideal for it being accurate. Now that you wait 10 days, you go back and you're gonna check it every day to watch it. But 10 days later, you're gonna download your ad report. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take all of the expensive keywords. That's, in other words, high ACoS, high average cost of sale. The ones that are costing you a lot of money, getting you no sales, but are still relevant. You're gonna drop the bid on those to lower, so it's not costing you as much money. You still need to rank for those. You don't wanna remove those and make them negative, because you're gonna lose showing up for other related keywords if you do that. But for those keywords that come up that are irrelevant, you're gonna make those exact match in your automatic campaign as negative keywords, which means your ads will never show up when someone searches that keyword because it's irrelevant and it will cost you money. So again, if it is a relevant, expensive keyword, you're gonna lower your bid. If it's an irrelevant, expensive keyword, you're gonna put it in as negative exact match, negative exact match in your automatic campaign. The next step you're gonna do, notice this is a funnel, we started broad and automatic, now we're gonna narrow down. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna find the keywords that are converting well, and find the keywords with a good click-through rate. So in other words, if you have 1,000 impressions showing up and 25 of those someone clicks on, that's good. That is 0.25% click-through rate. So anything from there and better, you're gonna take those keywords, as long as they're relevant, and you're gonna move them from broad match to phrase match. Okay, you're gonna remove them from broad, you're gonna put them in the phrase match. Now why is that? Okay, let's take the example again. Metal green chair. Phrase match, metal green chair, means Amazon will automatically switch those words around if they want. So metal green chair could become metal, they're not gonna switch the words, they're gonna add words to the beginning or the end if they want. So it could be, tall metal green chair, or metal green chair short, okay? So it's still gonna find you other keywords that you may not have known about, but it's gonna keep those words where they are in that order and the way you want them, because they have a good click-through rate, 0.25% or more, and or they also have a good conversion rate, so when people click on it, it's converting well, okay? So you're gonna move those into phrase match. And you no longer have broad match, you're just doing phrase. And now you're gonna run that for 7 days. 7 days later, this is step 3 now, you're gonna take the phrase match keywords that have a good click-through rate and are making you money, the ones that have a very low ACoS, in other words, they don't cost a lot to get a sale, you're gonna make those your exact match keywords. Now you're gonna keep your phrase match campaign going, because some of them are still helping you, but they're not good enough to go into exact. An exact match, again, if we use the keyword green metal chair, means it'll be exactly that. So if someone types in green metal chair, your ad will come up. It should, if you're bidding high enough. If it doesn't, that means you're not bidding high enough, and I can explain that to you in a minute. How do you know how much to bid on? That means if someone types in a green metal chair, or green metal chair tall, or green metal chair short, your ad won't come up. Only if they type in exactly that, nothing but that, exactly, okay? Once you do that, you guys, and you drop that in your exact match, now you have targeted your campaign. You don't ever want to start with exact match from the beginning, because you don't know how those keywords are ranking, okay? Now, there is something we teach on our team. I don't share it here publicly. It's called the secret gem hack. For those of you guys who are in Just One Dime, go to the launch stage, scroll down on the left side, there's a tab that's called hacks. This is where you apply the secret gem hack. I'll tell you what it does, but for those of you guys who aren't on the team, I'm not gonna tell you how to do it, because our best content is for warriors. In a nutshell, this hack, which I learned from the guy who started Amazon ad campaigns on Amazon. He taught this, shared this. It allows Amazon to find keywords that other sellers don't know about, but people are searching. It'll force the system to find other keywords. It really, really is amazing, and it'll give you a huge advantage over the competition. So I'm gonna recap really quick. You start with broad and automatic. Then you move to phrase, okay? Some of those need to go into automatic negative exact match. Some of them you just need to lower your bid because they're relevant but they're expensive. And then you move to exact. So it's broad, phrase, exact. Now, this is not the only way to do a PPC ad campaign on Amazon, but I'm telling you, it is the most time-tested, proven method because you're using a funnel and it makes logical sense. how do I know how much to bid on a keyword? There are 3 ways. Amazon's gonna suggest a bid, then you're gonna see the lowest bid, then you're gonna see the highest bid. If Amazon suggests, like, oh, you should spend $1.10 every time someone clicks on this keyword for an ad, if they suggest that, what they're saying is, we're saying, we recommend you bid this amount to get on the first page. The low cost is what your competitors, the competitors you have who are bidding the lowest on that word, and the high one, because it gives you a range of 3, right? You guys have seen this. That is what your competitors who are paying the highest for that keyword are, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to make yours anywhere from 20 cents to $2 more expensive than the highest bid for the keywords, unless that keyword is costing you money, in which that case you're going to drop your bid down. If it's relevant, you do not want to make it negative exact match, because then you lose ranking over that. And you still want to have some ranking for that keyword, even though it may not be the keyword you're going to make the most money off of. So 20 cents to $2 higher than what your competitors are doing. What the highest bid on there, that again, Amazon has suggested the lowest and the highest. 20 cents to $2. How do I know if it's 20 cents or $2? I'll tell you how. The more relevant it is, your power keyword, to your product. Let me give you a simple example. I want you to look at this great chair right here, okay? This is a great chair. Just pretend I'm selling this on Amazon and I need to advertise it. The super relevant keyword is gonna say something like this. It's not just gonna say medium gray metal chair. That's kind of a long tail, but not super specific. It's gonna say something like lean back, curved armrest, gray metal chair. That's super relevant. Very long tail keyword. Now, why would I want to bid $2 more than the competition for that keyword? Because I know that when someone searches that, it is so relevant to my product here. This is a very specific kind of gray metal chair. The chances of someone purchasing it are extremely high. It's a very convertible word. But wait, Seth, if I do $2, isn't that expensive? Listen, if it's that long of a keyword, the expenses is not nearly as high as something like chair or gray chair or even metal gray chair. The longer the keyword, as a general thumb, the less expensive it is. Therefore, you can afford to bid higher to make sure when someone types in that keyword, your ad is showing up on that first page of search results. That's why this is so important. You know your keywords in your listing. That's why I keep telling you guys, you must know keywords if you want to crush it on Amazon. If you don't know keywords, you need to stop selling on Amazon. It all goes back to keywords. Why? Because keywords gets you in the mind of your customer. That's how you understand what they want. So again, how do I know how much to bid on a keyword? The more relevant it is, in other words, long tail, the more words that are in there. Look at it this way, guys. If I was to say, look, I need to find your product. Give me the most exact definition possible of your product so that I know your product will show up on the first page of search results. Okay, whatever answer you give me, that's probably your most relevant keyword, and that's the one you need to bid a lot on. And the cool part about it is it's usually not expensive because it's so long tail. Usually the expensive words are the short tail, like chair. Very expensive because the volume is so high, there's a lot more competition, therefore it's more expensive. What I'm trying to show you guys is how to make PPC ad campaigns work so you don't spend tons of money, but you make money. But please understand, for the first 2 to 4 weeks, you're probably not gonna make any money. You just won't. Why? Because you're researching. That's why you're doing broad match. You're giving Amazon money. You're saying, Amazon, I am paying you to do research for me. I'm asking you to find the best keywords for me. You find them for me. And once I know them, then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna shave off the ones that cost me money. I'm gonna lower the bids on the relevant ones that are expensive, and I'm gonna bring it to a phrase match, and then finally to an exact match. And that's where you are targeted. Once you've done this, you only need to spend 5 minutes a day, guys. 5 freaking minutes a day in your listing. That's it. This is where it becomes passive. People say, well, what does it mean to have passive income? You can sleep while you're making money. Yes, you can. You spend all the hard time up front. I know many of you guys are hustling and you're grinding and you're trying to get through. You have to do the work in advance. Okay, there's a lot more I could teach you on that, but that's what I've been working on from Amazon stores, and also that's what we're updating in our course, which I'm excited about. So I thought I'd share a little bit with you. No problem. All right, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. Keep going out there. Don't stop. Hope that the first part of this video was really helpful to you guys. And by the way, what I shared with you at the beginning of this video, that is the result of almost 4 years. Not just me, but other top sellers. What I did is I took advice from our best coaches at PPC. I combined it into a simple strategy we're using on our stores, and it works like awesome. It's the result of that. I didn't just here's something that works for now. No, this is a result of a lot of top sellers combined, condensed. So it'll save you time. So use it, you guys, use it. It took me years to understand that. I love you guys. And I mean that sincerely. Bye. Crushing out there, working hard. My mind has been heavily on PPC over the last several days. Been doing a ton. We have over 80 slides now on a training we've been preparing for our advanced group. Over freaking 80 slides just on PPC. And the more and more in depth we go, the more I realize, guys, this PPC is so important for your success as an Amazon seller because it affects how you build your listing. It affects how you advertise it. It affects how you do photos. It affects everything. Your PPC ad campaign is a huge, huge part. It's a test on the effectiveness of your conversion. It's a test on the effectiveness of your ranking. If you understand it right, you'll think about it from the very beginning of your Amazon store all the way to the point where it begins to sell and your paychecks every 2 weeks begin to swell and get bigger and bigger. Guys, the purpose of your PPC ad campaign ultimately is not sales, it's to get ranking on the first page for your organic search words. So if you're already doing that, I want to know more details like what exactly is going on. If you're already ranking for organically, that's awesome and that's exactly what you need to be doing. But the purpose of the ads is to get you ranking organically, you see? So it might, if you're getting enough sales, if you're on the first page of search results for the main keywords and you're making great money, this is where you might drop your budget a bit. You see, use the automatic campaign to find new ones. I run PPC and every time I'm downloading the report, it's empty. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. PPC has over 150,000 impressions. Make sure that the keywords you're trying to rank for are in your title, in your bullet points, in your product description. That's the number one most common reason it runs up empty. Number two, you need to bid heavy. So are you willing to open up your budget to 50 to 1,000 a day? Now, Amazon will almost never spend all that money, but you gotta open your budget up so that you get enough data so that it starts to rank. If you're not bidding high enough and your budget's not high enough, that would be why it's empty. You have to be aggressive. You have to, here's the thing, Mustafa, you wanna be so aggressive that, and keep in mind, you're not just, it's not like money just coming out of your account, because this money's coming out of sales, you're getting the sales, right? So it's not 100% loss. You have to open it up so that you're ranking enough so that when you actually slow down your PPC campaigns, you're ranking organically. You need to push it up there. So every time I search a keyword, I see Mustafa's product. See what I mean? So open up your bids. 30 cents to $1 higher than the highest bids will definitely get you there. If not, make sure your keyword relevance is good. Seth, how do you select a negative keyword in PPC ads? What are the factors we should consider? The only words you want to make negative PPC are going to be, you make sure they're exact match, okay? And do it if the word is costing you money. It's not actually making you money, it's costing you money, and its relevance is low. I'll give you an example. If you're selling a white coffee mug, you could make mug a negative keyword exact match. Why that one? Because mug is not very relevant. It has some relevance, but what are the chances if I search mug, I'm looking for a white coffee mug? It may not be white, it may not be for coffee. See, so the chances of me buying your product is very slim. But if it's coffee mug and it's costing you money, and your main keyword is white coffee mug, do not make it negative, because you don't want Amazon to think coffee mug is not relevant to your listing. It'll cause your listing to not show up for other keywords when it should. So the only time you're gonna do negative exact match is when the keyword is low relevant and costing you too much money. It's costing you money. If it's medium or high relevance and it's costing you money, just lower the bid, okay? That's when you do exact match. Be very careful, guys. In the early days, I would go crazy on exact match. If it's costing me money, if its ACoS is over my profit, I would just make it negative. It doesn't work. It causes your listing to get suppressed, if so to speak. My PPC ACoS is 130 during 3 weeks. Is that normal? Any recommendations? So after 3 weeks, it should be going down. And if it's not going down, you need to take a look at it. And there's two things I would do. One, find the keywords that are super relevant. The ones that you know if someone types this in, your product 100% fulfills their need. And drop the bid on them. If they're costing you too much money and you're not making sales, if after 3 weeks they're costing you, what you want to do is decide which keywords am I going to make money on and which ones do I need to rank for, but I'm not willing to bid higher. You don't want to make it a negative keyword, like I said earlier, Maria, because you still need to rank for that keyword because it is still somewhat relevant to your listing. So the super relevant ones that are costing you money, in other words, 20 people have to click on that before one person buys it. So if you were selling it for $100, yet you just spent $130 in sales, which is why your advertising cost of sales is 130% profit margin, just take the expensive keywords, the ones that are costing you money, okay, that you're not making money on, drop it down, cut it in half. Then the ones that are not costing you as much money, but you are getting sales on, make sure those are at least 30 cents to $1 higher than the highest bid mark on Amazon. In the PPC ad campaign, it shows you 3 levels, the low, the recommended, and the high. Make it 30 cents to $1 higher. And now what you're gonna do is you're saying, I'm gonna make money off the less expensive keywords. Second, use the secret gem hack. We teach this in the course. It's under the launch stage. It'll help you to find other keywords you may not know about that you want to rank for. And that's the key with PPC, guys. It's not making sure you're bidding the highest on all keywords. You'll do it at the beginning just to start getting data. But after, you want to become targeted and select only the ones that are going to make you the most money.